We just were artists and we wanted to show our work to as many people who were interested in it. And we wanted to change the world, but we were artists first, you know. I think that's why many of the artists in the show have been over the years so successful, that our audiences were always each other. We were never saying, please will you let us in? We were saying, we've got some really good ideas and interesting things to say. That's how we started, and I think that is how we kept going. Somehow, even if you don't sort of meet those people every day or are friends with them in a long, convenient line, we did do something when it was really, really difficult. So and that holds you together somehow in an odd sort of way. The first edition of the Thin Black Line happened in 1985. And it sort of happened in a sense by accident. I was really mostly interested in running the ICA. A job came up to run the ICA. They, of course, were not going to give me any such thing, and it was a particular kind of place. But because there was kind of funding threat at the time from the Greater London Arts, who were basically saying, if you don't diversify your programme, we're going to withdraw that funding. So what the director and the curators did was say, okay, you can't have anything you want, but what you can have is the corridor. I worked differently then, and I said, yes, okay, I'll do it. So I worked with 10 other artists. There were particular artists I wanted to work with, all of them black women. In a sense, I almost was saying, let's do this show, and you bring whatever artwork you want to bring to it. There's no money, just bring it and I'll make a show from it. And that's how it became. It was an incredibly ambitious idea that then was reduced to a corridor. There were reviews that said it was a mess, there were reviews that said it was loud and angry, and this was not what people wanted, certainly not from young black women. I think that reaction knocked a lot of people. Yeah, I think it was really difficult to recover from it because we'd put ourselves at the centre of the city, even if we hadn't put ourselves at all at the centre of the art world. So what I've tried to make is some sort of feel of the energy of that time with some of the original work. I've also, along with the curators here, programmed a whole series of film screenings, live performances of music, poetry performances, and writers' talks. So it's a kind of leaky program of the whole of the visual arts, the whole of music and film. Yeah, sort of extraordinary combinations of things, really, and that's what's sort of important to me.
It was a long time ago, 40 years, but you know, sometimes it actually feels like 4 years ago. Where those 40 years have gone, I have no idea. And also, it feels like it's good timing because we're living in such turbulent times and we've all got something to say still. It feels like time hasn't passed, even though we know it has, because some things have changed and some things haven't. I mean, still people talk about institutionalized racism, or we're all probably feel that we're feminists, but at different levels or different stages, or, you know, I know it's a bit like a girly show, like we're still girls like 40 years ago.
I feel, looking at the work and thinking about it, that whilst the materiality may have changed in some cases, the kind of bigger themes are still there. People are still making work that's quite personal, that is about their lived experiences. They're still making work that is challenging ideas and stories about who black women are and were and what they contribute. They're still making work that is challenging what art is. And yeah, it's a different relationship between the artist and the institution in that it's an invitation this time. And I think the first one felt more like a challenge, more like, it was all like we were being dared to show in the ICA. rather than being encouraged to show in the ICA.